is happening? Welcome back to the VR CruCast. We are missing some of the crew. Roots has got a family thing. Wes has got a family thing. And Mash decided just to be busy and not be here. So, yeah, there we are. Yeah, he told me. He was like, I'm just going to be too busy.
Wow. I mean, those guys, you know, they have a legit excuse. Mash, on the other hand.
Yeah, a year and a half
So
on
if
a
there was
Monday.
ever a meeting for him to miss a CruCast for, this is the one. So go Mash.
All right. Well,
Go Mash.
break the NDAs. Tell us what you got. You know, okay, just kidding. We know you can't.
How's everyone in the chat? Thank you for joining us. As you can see, I'm joined by Between Realities, Skiva and Alex. How you doing, boys?
Hey, did you miss us?
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Man, I only saw you on Friday.
Days.
But that's like 3 full days, man. Like,
no, man.
You must have been missing us.
I did a little bit, but it's just it goes so
Yeah.
fast. Do you know what I mean? I don't think people on YouTube have weekends off. It's like their busy time is a weekend. That's what it feels like to me. But I don't know if
well, you know, not for me. I try to chill on the weekends if I can, but I do feel you.
Do you have weekends
but I'm
off?
not a YouTuber
This
though.
guy,
You know,
he's a slacker.
Is
I'm not a
he?
YouTuber. I'm not editing videos and stuff. You know, that's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
But it was great having you on as a guest on Between Realities on Friday, man. We had a good time. Thanks for doing it.
I listened back to it while walking the dog to check if what Skiva said was absolutely true. Because I tell so basically, right, they said to me before the show, they were like, listen, man, don't swear. Actually, don't tell anyone to upload about this. Anyway, so keep this quiet because this goes on upload as well. So they said to me, listen, don't swear. And I'm like, I got it. Don't worry about it, right? And when we got to the end of the show, Skiva went, oh, I've just been doing timestamps for all the F-bombs you dropped. I was like, did I swear? And Alex went, hell yeah, you did.
Yeah.
I was like, no way. And honestly, and I said to them, it really felt like, say you've got I use this in analogy, say you've got a problem with like shoplifting, right? And you've been under therapy and you go out to the shops, right? And you come back from the shops and you're proud. You haven't stolen a thing, but then you check your pockets. And that's what it felt like listening to the show.
Yeah, you stole some shit, GT. That's for sure. But let me say, it's, you know, it's all good, right? Like these things happen. And at the end of the day, like I personally am all about authentic expression. You know what I mean? And like sometimes you just have to drop an F-bomb to get your point across. You know, it's just the way it is. So, you know,
I'm trying to think if, has Bradley ever swore?
he doesn't swear.
Do you not swear, Brad? Are you eating? Sorry.
No, I was definitely raised. If you say a bad word, you're gonna get the spanking. So it's ingrained into me now forever.
So weird because my kids don't swear, and and if they do, they don't do it in front of us. I pretty much think they do not swear. And
I mean, I just didn't swear in front of my parents.
Yeah,
you know, it's like it's problem solved.
It's just weird because my granddad, every other word was the F word all the time, constantly, bad language all the time. And I think when I got to working on the railway, I realized that people use swear words to fill up the gaps when they can't think of what they're saying. So they would go, right, I need you to F in, go and get the F in. And I just think, oh, these guys just aren't very smart. They're just filling up space with swear words, right? And it was the norm.
Like the word like. You know what I mean? It's just
and like, yeah.
I have to fucking fix it. Like I listen to myself in some of these clips that we're making for Between Realities, and I'm like, oh, like cringing.
Why? What are you saying? What are you saying?
I say like a fucking
I say
lot.
like a lot, though.
A lot. Like
but
when I'm
just
trying
in those spots.
it's just when I'm trying to take a thought and formulate it and speak it in real time. Like I'm like having a realization about something, so I want to get it out as I'm experiencing the thought, and the like is what bridges the gaps between each of those.
So your brain can keep up
opportunities.
with your mouth.
Yeah, and it totally sucks. Like I hate listening to it, and I'm sure that people have listened to me go off and be like, no, unsubscribe. I'm not listening to this guy say like 5 times a sentence. So I'm really trying to.
Do you know what? I just realized.
Slow down a little bit.
Alex, it could really help you because at the moment, the YouTube algorithm picks up every time you say like and you get a little color thing. If you say like and subscribe on the mobile app, it will get like a rainbow effect. So maybe you just try and add subscribe to like.
Like and subscribe. Just say like and subscribe. And
Okay,
What's that? Why is Bradley looking like that?
Wait, is that real? Like, wait. When you say that, what?
Yeah. So basically, what they wanted to get. Yeah, I've known it for. I just always forget. I do try, but yeah, basically, if you say like and subscribe, or just like and subscribe, the like button will get like a rainbow effect, and then the subscribe button will get a rainbow effect.
What? That's
on mobile. I think. I don't think it's on desktop, is it?
Probably not on Android either. I don't know. You know.
But
No, it
you know,
is. I've seen it
do you
on
think
my
that?
phone.
I
As I
wonder if
said.
there can be anything that can be exploited here. Can I make like an 8-minute video that just repeats the words like and subscribe like 20,000 times, and then like have that like
I'm sure there's a cooldown.
You could, yeah. There probably, yeah. There is. You can only say it like twice in 8 minutes, for example. It would only work twice. But yeah, I think that would have the opposite effect, Alex, if you did that, and people would unsubscribe.
Well, they're already unsubscribing because I can't fucking stop saying like when I'm bridging my
I know
thoughts.
the difference is, right, if that's what you're saying a lot, I don't even notice you saying it, but maybe that's because I say it a lot, and I only notice it when I record. It's not when I'm live.
I think when you communicate like that, maybe it's like a generational or a regional thing. I don't know. I mean, obviously we're barely of the same generation, and obviously not from the same region. So
Yeah, you're
I
much
guess I'll
older.
throw
than
that out
me.
the window.
He's much
Yeah,
older
yeah,
than
right.
me. Yeah.
Way older than GT. Yeah, I'm older than everybody on the show. But
Oh, man.
yeah, but I think if it's something that you're used to hearing, it just goes in one ear and out the other. But if that's not the way you communicate, it's got to be like nails on a chalkboard, you know? Because I communicate like it, and I can even notice it sometimes, all the time. I hear it a lot.
Well, there you go.
Somebody help me. Somebody help me.
I mean,
please.
this has been a weird opening as normal. How we doing? And this week we've got the real Brad, which I think everyone's shocked by that. I'm shocked by that. I haven't seen his face for ages. The only time I see his real face is in still images that are still on my app that I make thumbnails with, because I didn't realize how many times I thought that'd make a funny picture, and I didn't post them. So there's only a few I've ever done. I'm probably making something and I'm like, why are you doing this at like 2 a.m? Brad won't care. No one will care. Remember that time I put you on Yoshida's back? Was it? No, you was at Mount Rushmore with Zuckerberg. You was on someone's back though. It's like you was riding him like a dinosaur.
Oh, he should have been one of the statues on Mount Rushmore with the cat ears and everything. That would be amazing.
Yeah, I saw that one the other day. I thought that's
Still the most memorable one for me is the magic carpet.
Never ending story.
That one's the best. That one's the best.
Never ending story. That I found myself watching that a lot. I was like, I like this too much. So yeah, Skiba, I don't think I asked you how you doing, man. You good?
Yeah, man, I'm great. I'm moving, so you know, a lot of packing boxes and driving stuff around. But no, I'm doing good.
Is Alex helping you with this?
He offered to help.
Oh,
but,
that's
you
good.
know,
That's all
once-
that matters.
Yeah, once I get some furniture ready to go, I will be making that call.
Beautiful.
Buddy.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready.
Beautiful. You got
Give me a reason to get some exercise.
You got to think of your dad's back. You know?
Yeah, dude.
Alex.
Dude,
care of
you
me,
got to
Sean.
take care of this guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Sean.
I'm there. I'll lift his couch. Skiva couches are not small couches, you know?
Really?
Or not. You know, funny thing, I don't even own a couch.
No, he doesn't.
What do you sit on?
I sit on this chair and I work all the time.
You just sit on that chair?
Yep.
No.
I work.
That chair and bed.
I am a workaholic, like legit. And yeah, I was afraid that if I got a couch, I would slack off. So I never did.
Do you know, I try and think to myself, if I can't even imagine this, but if I didn't have kids and a wife, I probably would be. I find it hard to go and do something else sometimes because I feel like I should be doing something. So if no one was
this
there,
guilt, right?
Yeah,
Like
if-
this guilt that happens. You're like, oh my God, I'm not doing something productive.
yeah,
What am I doing right now?
yeah.
You know?
If no one
Yeah.
was there to like tell me that, I would probably just do that all. Yeah, and you
I
got a
agree.
secret.
If
You got a
I
secret.
didn't have a kid half the time, the other half of that time would also be spent working. So my kid gets me away from, is the only thing that gets me away from work.
You got one of these chairs, in you? The old secret lab, bad boy.
Yep.
Dude, that means you can do it. They are
Yeah,
the
Best chair
bollocks.
ever.
They are
Yeah.
and I like. Did you get the XL?
Yep, I did.
Yeah, that's interesting. You're not. I know. How tall are you then? Like that? Because we're.
6'7" or just over 2 meters.
Are you one of those people like Yogi Bear where the torso is longer than the legs, or is it like? Are you pretty much like a 50-50?
No, I think I'm pretty proportionate.
Oh, that's
Well,
good. No, there was a guy. He was pretty tall. I knew him, but his top half was like 60% of his build, and the rest he only had little legs. And he used to have back problems. He'd go, "Why's my back hurting?" I'll be like, "It's because you're built wrong." You know, like you.
Well, I'm definitely built wrong. I'm like perma pregnant, so my back hurts a lot. Yeah.
Oh man. Well, I hope you get that sorted.
Me too.
How you doing, then, Brad? You good?
I'm good. I'm still doing the thingy. I woke up really late because I was watching anime last night, all night, and I lost track of time. But I'm good now.
Interestingly, Brad, I was going to ask you about this. My son rang me up today, and he said to me, "There's this anime he wants me to watch.
Mm.
What was it called? 100 Blind Mob Psycho.
Oh, Mob Psycho 100. That's
Mob
a really
Psycho
good.
100.
Yeah, that one's a really good one. I like it a lot.
Yeah, he was
I
explaining the
recommend it.
whole art style thing of One Punch Man and the other guy. Then, yeah, he knows all that stuff. And you reckon it's really good?
Yeah, it's made by the same people as One Punch Man. So if you enjoyed One Punch Man, you're probably gonna
man.
enjoy
Hell
it.
yeah. I loved One Punch Man. I thought that was so good.
That theme tune is fire.
Dude,
Absolutely.
I gobbled that show up in like 2 days. It's like like crushed 2 seasons of that so fast. And I didn't see the end of the season 2 coming. I was just literally binging it, and then it just stopped. And I was devastated. And I wish I could see more of that.
What about Castlevania? Did you enjoy that on Netflix? You guys?
I haven't seen it, but I heard it was really good. I'm like still trying to get into anime, like actually get into it, you know?
Yeah, I would say like it's not necessarily strictly anime, the Castlevania series. You know what I mean? It is animation, but it's not that style. I don't think too much. But if you've ever been a fan of the game, the video game, and definitely the soundtrack, it's absolutely awesome.
Word.
Soundtrack is so good.
Yeah, the music's amazing.
There is a scene, I think it's like chapter 7 or 8. I can send it to you, where Alucard and all the guys basically fight Dracula. And it's absolutely insane. It's one of the best scenes ever.
Sick.
Very sick.
Hell yeah.
Maybe we should talk about VR. Which would be
All
great.
right.
It's the reason we're like, look, sort your belt out. Oh, all right. All right, if we have to. How's it doing, everyone? Thank you for joining us today. There's 134 of you. Really, really grateful that you've turned up. Seems to be talking about Apple Vision Pro again. It's weird because at some point we were talking about that bloody headset for like 3 or 4 weeks in a row. Like it was constant. So I'm just going to quickly go back to Brad and say to him, how are we doing? Because I wonder how many people in the world, I thought about this today, how many people in the world would have put as many hours into that headset as you have? Because how many hours do you think you've put into it, pretty much?
I don't even know like put a number to it at this point. It literally is like an 8 hours a day thing. Because
Yeah.
like if I want to do anything on my computer, I gotta put on the headset, right? So it's like everything I do every day is on my computer. And
Wow.
I'm still really enjoying it. I only did dude, people in chat, like when I got in, they're like, oh, Brad must have bought a new monitor. He's not on persona mode. I'm like, no, I wanted to give everyone the real face. I think some people missed it. So I literally just look here, you can see my desk. There's still no monitor on it.
Oh, roast in the chat, bro.
I have a freaking box here. I'm putting my wife's laptop on to do the web camera built in. Like we're still doing the fun.
So you've only got this screen to look at now, right now, not
right
like...
now, yeah. Which I feel very limited because I've been obsessed, or I've been like, man, I've been doing so many fun experiments with like connecting multiple devices to the Vision Pro and like having full control over the aspect ratio, resolutions, the refresh rates. All I can't, dude. I've been wanting this for so long. Like making hardware into software is kind of such a like liberating feeling. Like I don't have to worry about like, oh, I bought this monitor. It's the set refresh rate. It's the set aspect ratio. It's the set resolution. I can just change it in software and it's there digitally. And it's like wonderful. And I can bring it wherever I want. Like
You can individually change the refresh rate of a window.
Yeah,
and then have a different refresh rate on a different window.
yes, basically, yes. That's what I've been doing this
Really?
week. And it's
So you
awesome.
hold on. So the
Yeah.
headset runs at what frequency
That's-
constantly, for example?
Yeah, so it runs at 90 hertz most of the time, but like you can like if you don't need it's very okay, it's very weird. Like obviously I'll make most windows run at 90 hertz most of the time, but there's also like kind of benefits to like running certain things at a higher refresh rate, even if the display can't handle it because like you get less latency doing that. But that's more a rendering thing rather than a display thing. But it's more I want to put more emphasis on the aspect ratio and resolution thing because I literally can like create for my Windows PC a 21:9 aspect ratio monitor at like a 4K resolution. So it's ultra wide, super crisp and everything. And I can just be downstairs with my PC upstairs and just do things that I need to do around the house. And I understand people are making fun of me all the time for doing it, but it's like it feels like the future. It's just we're so close.
I love it, man.
I totally get like using that as a full monitor replacement, but being in tech all my life, I used to do a lot of stuff with servers, and not having a monitor hooked up to a server sometimes was a real pain in the butt. Even though you remote into it all the time, there's hardware issues, when there's things that happen, sometimes you have to have a monitor to diagnose the actual hardware. What are you doing in that situation? Do you like go grab your wife's monitor and bring it into the other room real quick?
Yeah, so far I haven't had to do that yet. Luckily,
Nice.
I got it. I got my PC setting as best as I can headless mode, and it's gotten really good. I was previously using a dummy dongle to like fool the GPU to like think there's a display connected. I don't have to do that anymore. I have like a completely virtual display, which makes things actually a lot better somehow. I was running into a lot of like display bugs actually with my GPU that I'm not running into now because it has a virtual driver. Nvidia, what's wrong with you? You're freaking insane. But yeah, it's been okay so far. But yeah, if I do need to like do something like that, because obviously you can't access the BIOS, which could be a problem sometimes, I will grab my wife's like monitor. But I do think like the XR Dream is going to be making operating systems work better headless. Like it's kind of crazy how they still don't work well headless, or like it's designed for this. So it's madness. Yeah.
Is
I
that
think the XR Dream in general could be having almost a completely empty house with nothing on the walls,
yeah?
like just furniture, and then being able to like have themes for your house that just change the full decor and everything on the walls and the the paint and whatever the case may be. I think that would be super rad. Like I'm not feeling this today. Swipe. Oh, that's a good one.
That's what I mean. You was talking
Yeah.
about only having one chair. You could turn that chair into any chair just to have it looking like a
Yeah.
different chair. You know, that's my comfy chair. Oh no, that's my work chair, but it's the same chair.
So I want to ask a little bit more about like the idea, I guess, of like the persistent, like being in XR persistently, because like a lot of people, when they get an Apple Watch or like a Gear or whatever, like something on their wrist that connects to their phone, it like revolutionizes their life, and they like can't live without having that watch on their wrist. I personally don't feel that way. I tried to wear a watch for a while, and like, it just didn't work for me. There are times where I can imagine wearing a headset that allowed me to like do something else would probably be really beneficial. But I am wondering, like, where in your day to day are you seeing the largest impact of having this device on and like realizing that you're not going back?
I think it's the mobility more than anything for sure. Like being able to like not leave my computer in a room, and like if I got to go downstairs and like do something in a different room, and having that with me all at all times is like, I mean, it's like I don't need my phone as much. My phone was kind of like a substitute for that, but like a low power substitute. But like this is like an actual mobility case without sacrificing everything, if that makes sense. So
Yeah, like it's as strong as you need it to be, or as you would have needed a PC to be, but it's more mobile than maybe even a laptop is.
oh yeah, like right now I'm on a pretty nice laptop, but like I feel very limited, especially by screen real estate right now. And like the option would be, hey, plug it into a giant monitor in your office. Well, then you ruin the mobility factor of the laptop at that point. So like for me, I see like I kind of want a headless laptop at this point where I can just have the compute in the keyboard and like with just the trackpad, and just be able to bring the headset that's on my face already and the actual just keyboard and trackpad with the compute power inside it, the more compute power inside it, and bring that everywhere I go, because I think it's also really healthy for humans to like be able to like move around their house and like do things day to day, because you get really like, I don't know, I get a little crazy when I'm in this room all day. So
I was going to say,
I
I had a conversation with my dad about Apple Vision Pro, which is very surprising, and he lured me in. I shouldn't have done it. He's very negative, and especially when he's been working nights. So anyway, yeah, he basically went, "Oh, that's what's always going to happen now. People are just going to be stuck in their rooms." And I went, "It's the complete opposite. Surely it's the complete opposite. You can go wherever you want to go and carry on working." Like,
yeah. Well, and like I'm thinking about, again, it's like, you know, maybe mobility is great, but like the question I want to know is there anything that like in your day to day, like now you don't do dishes without your AVP on? Because like I don't think I would put a headset on to do dishes. Like I need to be focused on the task at hand. I need to look at the dishes. I can't be glancing up. Like I've tried to look at my phone and do dishes.
That might be a
but, like,
generational thing, because my
it's too loud.
My daughter can watch TV and wash up. Like actually everything she does, she's either learning something for school, listening to music, or watching TV while doing something else all the time.
Yeah, maybe I just don't have the brain capacity
you just
for that kind of multitasking.
It's just going full circle. You're the oldest one here, so it's probably what it is.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. That is definitely true. But anyway, is there anything like that in your life, or is it just like having a mobile computer is really the big thing?
It's mobile computer. Like I'm the person that literally, I mean, hey, we can have discussions about like how like technology's made us very ADHD, like as time goes on. Like I can't do anything without having like a video or podcast playing on my phone while I'm doing other stuff. And it's like kind of like that, but a better experience if you can pass the comfort thing.
I took a page out of your book and touched some grass this weekend and shared it on the internet.
I saw.
Yeah. Just no caption, just the photo of a hand touching grass, and I was channeling you when I did that. I want you to know.
I'm glad you survived.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm really glad though, man. Like it's continuing to serve its purpose. You know, there hasn't been a honeymoon period for you. In fact, it sounds like you're getting married. Like it sounds like it's gone. You know, you're staying there. You're staying tied to this.
Like if this is like, I know this is, a lot of people have gotten mad for me and like my Discord and stuff saying this, but like I've said this multiple times. If this is where XR headsets are going, like this kind of like, if a lot of the high end ones at least are going this use case, then I'm going to be very happy the next few years, because right now it's Apple. Apple has like the one that does it, but like, hey, there's going to be Samsung coming out. There's going to be freaking Meta coming out next year with their Quest Pro 2 with LG.
I was just going to get onto that. Yeah. So can you tell us about that today? What happened today?
Yeah, so there was a new report that came out from Hank Young, which is a South Korean, I believe they're mostly economic journalist website, and they got a lot of sources saying that Mark Zuckerberg is going to be visiting South Korea, the first time in like 10 years, by the way, like since he's visited there, and the last time he visited was for finalizing the plans for Samsung Gear VR.
Wow.
He's going there this Wednesday to meet with LG's like CEOs and stuff to discuss like plans for their upcoming Meta Quest Pro 2 or whatever they're going to call it at that point. And the interesting thing is it's going to be a very collaborative product. Like LG is very involved. There might even be an LG logo on the headset for this point, because it's just a big combination where LG is doing most of the hardware stuff, and Meta is going to be handling the software OS and like the AI capabilities of the headset. And they're going to discuss how they can implement LG's web OS stuff to it, which is like their TV thing, but also like marketing plans, because hey, they want to make a competitor to the Vision Pro. They want to make a competitor to the Samsung headset coming out that is also targeting this high-end like spatial computing, media viewing experience. So yeah.
Do you think you could see the Quest Pro 2 being like a controllerless hand tracked solution, or do you think they'll always kind of save that room for gaming?
I don't know, because like even though like
why would you go controllers though? Surely that's only, in my mind, they're actually a step ahead by having controllers at the moment. But
well, the regular Quest line, like that's what the Quest line.
Yeah, no, but even the Quest Pro, like I just, I know some people in the community had a Quest Pro and they were really expensive and they were really happy with it and they still are. I can't see them going away from controllers because I think they've already got an ecosystem of people who use the controllers and have games in their library. So you'd be automatically saying you can't play these games on this headset. And not everyone owns multiple headsets, but I don't know.
Why can't you do both, right? Why can't you have a SKU
That's what I'm saying.
Controllers because the people that want to work in it that will never launch a game, that will never play a first-person shooter, and all they want is monitor replacements. They don't need controllers. Hand tracking would be great, and Meta continues to keep ramping up their hand tracking and making it better and better and better. And they are already they already have less latency than Apple's hand tracking, right? And they're going to continue to improve it. So, and then one of those days, someone puts them in a different headset and says, "Try this game," and now they go, "Oh, okay, well for $200 or whatever, I can go buy some controllers if I want to get into this," right? I think it could be a good thing. I mean, Apple has already just set the path.
I was just going to say.
Yes, right?
Yeah.
So,
that any of the things that Apple are doing, Meta now know. And, so like, even if Apple leave, you've got a standard, which is really high and really good and people are enjoying. So even though I don't
think
think
the Meta thing with LG, I mean, so this isn't the first time we've seen something like this happen either, right? Because Meta teamed up with Lenovo and put a Lenovo logo on the side of the Rift S. So I mean, they're definitely up for partnering with companies to improve their hardware, and so this is all gonna get really interesting. I can't wait to see where all this goes, man. I want all these headsets.
My opinion is like I think I even heard like they're originally planning to have a controllerless SKU for the Quest Pro 1 at one point. Like that was big internal talks, but that didn't happen because they kind of felt that headset wasn't going to perform as well and as they thought originally. I can definitely imagine this LG headset having a controllerless SKU because the one thing I think Zuckerberg was like kind of praising about Vision Pro and his weird video thing was like he liked the eye tracking and the hand tracking input thing. He thought that was like good for where things are going, and I think that's where Samsung's going. According to rumors, they're going with that same similar look and pinch sort of thing, no controllers, and that would be Meta's upsell, right? Like if you, like you guys said, like they have the platform for controllers. They sell the Quest Pro controllers to work with 3 different headsets right now. Yeah. So yeah, and also I think the interesting thing about the partnership with LG more than anything is it kind of de-risks Meta from like investing a ton in the hardware and like the manufacturing of the hardware for the high end that didn't really go well for them for the first unit. That's all on LG now. So like. We'll see how it goes, right?
They are. I mean, are they? Do they make their own panels over their TVs, or is it Samsung that make them for LG? I can't remember.
It depends. Like LG does sometimes buy Samsung panels for their TVs, but most of the time they use their own.
Nice.
OLED.
My TV, I absolutely love my LG TV. It's like it's insane. Yeah. I absolutely love it. That's really cool. So just to let you guys know, just in case it looks like I've made any effort. Skiva and Brad have sent me notes for this week's show. So the next bit of story is something I've got no idea what it's about. It says Blair Witch accidentally turns off their store page.
Whoops. They deactivated their Quest page by mistake, and it's taking a little while to get it back up, so they're losing all kinds of money in sales right now.
Blair Witch, what, the VR horror game?
Yeah.
They're losing all kinds of money.
Well, I mean,
that's the bit, I don't mean to be mean.
Made on that day, they're losing tens of dollars.
Like I don't want to be mean, but like, is it that devastating?
They've lost $20.
That's still, that's still their livelihood, right? They're trying to sell a game, and if the game's page is down, and because someone there hit the wrong button. Which I can't imagine is a very easy thing to do. I don't know how this happened, but I did find it pretty comical in a way, so I thought it would...
There must be like a light switch in some developer's room. It's like, oh, press the wrong one.
Right. And they like slowly click it back on.
Yeah. And they're like, sorry, buddy. This doesn't work like that, man. We got our suck and we're going to do it all again. And the third bit, we got more news. Quest 2 256 gig is off the market. So what are you saying? That the 128 is only available now?
Yeah, I guess they're slowly starting to remove Quest stuff. I mean, is what it looks like. So does that mean we're gearing up for Quest Lite? Or what does that mean? I don't know, because Quest 2 is still, greatly outselling the Quest 3. It's still their best-selling headset. So it's interesting that they pulled that off the market. There has to be something, maybe something coming.
Dude,
Mm.
I still see Oculus Quest 2s like on
Oh, yeah.
shelves.
Oh, you do?
Like,
With the
yeah.
Oculus box?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yeah, and accessories. Like I see stuff that's like years old that they still have, like that they must have gotten years ago, that has not moved off the shelf. I'm
That's
like, oh man, that's crazy. It's like
Dang.
it's selling, but like also I do see Oculus stuff still. It's like, damn.
Wow. I haven't personally seen anything, but I only go to I go to very few places. That's
Yeah,
not
it's usually like at like Target. I think Target is where I see the most old Oculus stuff.
How much do
Or
they
Best Buy.
retail for? Like, is it just a standard price of $299 now across
Yeah.
the board?
Yeah, I haven't seen any crazy discounts or anything like that.
Would you guys
But
be
I
pleased?
honestly,
Oh, sorry, Alex.
I don't know. I was just gonna say I feel like completely spoiled by the Quest 3. I would not like at this point. I don't even think I would recommend a Quest 2 to somebody with knowing that they could have a Quest 3 instead. It's just that much better.
Yes.
Even though I think the Quest 2 is great.
I think a lot of people.
Yeah.
How many people in chat have still got Quest 2s? Because I've still got mine, but I only use it for research purposes. Because sometimes if we get a game very, very early, they'll say that it runs better on Quest 2 than it does on Quest 3 until they've managed to like update it and enhance it for Quest 3, which is very interesting to me. But yeah, sometimes that's just how it is. I don't know why. But yeah. I think it'd be good if they get rid of Quest 2, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you got
It's time to move
out.
on.
Yeah.
Time. It's time. Get rid of it.
How old
I mean,
is
but
it?
it's kind of how it goes, right? So like Sony, for example, doesn't just stop and immediately stop selling PS4s when the PS5 comes out. And, there's always an overlap. So
this
Isn't it
is
almost
this
4
is
years old at this point. Like, didn't come out in 2020, right? I think.
well, we actually the 4-year anniversary of Between Realities came and went. We didn't even notice it, but we started Between Realities in February of 4 years ago, and the Quest 2 was not out at that time.
Okay. I think okay. I think it came out later in 2020 then.
Mhm.
Pretty sure.
But I'm having like kind of an interesting thought that I am wondering what you guys would think about. So I often talk about like my own personal journey with gaming. And when I was growing up, and I said last week I was born in 1987. When I was growing up, my first gaming console other than PC and like DOS was an NES. And by the time I was gaming on an NES, Super Nintendo was already out. Like my parents bought the old one. They're like, nah, you're getting the cheaper one. Here you go. So like neighbor kids are on Super Nintendo, but I'm on NES, and I didn't even know. I thought that was the newest.
Did you
thing
get
that
bullied?
existed. No, not at all.
Oh,
Not at all.
sorry.
I didn't know that those kids had Super Nintendos, like I'm just in my own world with my NES. And it wasn't until years later that I had the Super Nintendo, and eventually I caught up by the time Nintendo 64 came out. But the reason why I'm saying all of this is that I'm actually really grateful that that's how it played out for me, because then I got to experience NES as like a youngster and then have a chronological next step to the Super Nintendo. And I feel like I really got to enjoy the NES in its 8-bit glory until moving on to the 16-bit Super Nintendo. So my question is there any advantage to something like that in the VR world? Like, would there ever be a reason why, like, maybe it would make sense to have a natural progression from something that wasn't as advanced, like a Quest 1 or a Quest 2 before having a Quest 3? Or when it comes to VR, does the maximum capability just always make sense?
Man, that's a good question.
I mean-
Like I don't feel like Meta allows you to very often to say, well, this game far surpasses the Quest 2's abilities, so we're only putting it out on the Quest 3. It does happen, but I feel like, I don't know, do you feel like we get the same generational leaps as we do when a console bumps up? I don't
Well, it
personally-
depends. I would say if you went from Quest 1
1 to 3, I would say, is a pretty
Yeah.
huge
I was going to
gap.
say, yeah, if you went from Quest 1 to the games that are actually enhanced on Quest 3, like for example, and I say it all the time, Red Matter 2 on Quest 3, that is as good as PC in my opinion. I think it's an incredible game, but
Mhm.
it's not very fast moving, you know, things like that. I do get it, but yeah, visually that you wouldn't put them to. If you saw the Quest now, the OG Quest, and then you saw the Quest 3. So I guess when did they stop original Quest manufacturing in the Quest 2 life cycle? Because it did happen in Quest 2 life cycle, I'm so sure. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
I don't
Before
know.
they changed the name to Meta.
I think it was pretty
There
fast.
there
Like
was no Meta
immediately when
Quest 1.
Quest 2 came out, they were like, no more Quest 1s. I'm pretty sure. Like I think it was done.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
It obviously
Quest-
shows you
Quest
that.
1 was also like a test bed, right? I feel like they kind of half-assed the Quest 1 to dip their toes in to see if it was viable and if people were going to bite, and they did.
Oh, what the man! I know what you're saying, but like they went all in on trying to evolve that hardware though. Like that had hand tracking. They didn't
Yeah,
launch
but
on
I
hand
but I
tracking.
but I feel like it was because it was going to the Quest 2. You know what I mean? Like if it
Right.
was a proprietary thing and they would have had to start over with the Quest 2, they probably wouldn't have bothered. But since it was something that they were working on for future headset generations, yeah, absolutely. They evolved the heck out of that headset. It was very, very different from the time it came out to the time it was done. And same with the Quest 2. I mean,
Yeah.
it's crazy to see what it was like on release day compared to end of life. Just leaps and bounds different, right?
Do you know what I feel like every time I see certain channels say crazy big huge update coming to Quest? There's never been a time apart from hand tracking that I've ever gone into my Quest and gone, yeah, this is different. Like,
Yeah.
and I don't know whether I'm doing something wrong. I'm like, how can there every month be a crazy update and yet every time I use it, it's the same bloody thing, and everything just seems exactly the same.
Did you guys ever get that one environment that was like supposed to be kind of like a mountain or something? Did that ever come out for your Quest? Like they made a big deal about like one of the environments is supposed to be like you're in like a real life mountain, like as your home environment. But I never found that on my Quest. Have you found that?
There was
I
a
haven't
new
looked.
one the other week, actually. There are
Oh.
some new ones. There must be like 9 or 11 of them now. It's just, you have to go to you have to go there to find it. You have to search for it. Yeah, I don't know.
Mine's Peach's Castle. I don't think I've used one of the defaults in a little while. I should go in and check.
Yeah.
That's your Steam VR home.
No.
No, it's my Quest home on my Quest 3.
You can have Peach's
Mhm.
Castle as your
Right,
home
Alex,
environment?
mate, if you don't know this stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
What?
man.
All right. Hey, it's been a pleasure being on the VR CruCast. Thank you guys for believing that I knew my stuff up until this point.
See you later, mate. See you later.
It's been revealed.
See you later, mate. Yeah.
I'll see myself out.
Yeah. Yeah, there's custom environments. There's all sorts as well, Alex. Actually, if you go down that rabbit hole, I think you'll be very happy.
Yeah.
If
I
I
think
invited
that's
somebody,
maybe-
they wouldn't see it though, would they? Like
do you
if I
want?
invited you to my home environment.
Oh,
you know?
that's a good question. I don't.
Can you
know
invite
how-
people into your home environments?
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Well, I better see myself out then.
Yeah,
I didn't
you
know.
see yourself
Right,
out.
see you later,
Yeah,
boys.
I'm
Take
back
care,
in. I'm back
And
in.
what's cool is if you're in pass through, their avatar shows up in your house.
I used to love the Oculus Home thing when you invited people to your Oculus Home. That was so cool.
Yeah.
I might have to invite
pretty
someone round, dude.
Mhm.
Might have to invite someone round. We got a couple of donations that I completely missed, and there's definitely one earlier that I think I've no, I haven't. I got it. Excellent. Thank you to Samson143VR. Each and every week he comes through with this one. I appreciate that. Not the comment, just the fact he donates, and I really appreciate it. Thank you. $2 donation. No, he's put I am Don.
Oh my
It's
god.
not true.
Oh,
It's like
crazy would
saying
happen.
like, you know, like I am like we're all done. You know,
Oh,
it's like
like the
I am
film,
done, you
Spartacus. Yeah,
are done. We're all done
We're all
at the end of the day.
we're all better for being that way. Paradise Decay, £2 donation. Thank you ever so much. Thoughts on PSVR 2 on PC? That is actually a good thing to talk about because there was much speculation. Well, I could go right into it, but I don't really want to too much. But there was a speculation, obviously, and we did it on your show as well, didn't we? We spoke about it. Whether we
did.
plug the headset in directly to a PC, or is it going to be via like a Steam Link app on a PS5? Brad?
I'm personally betting on the Steam Link side personally because I think it's like It's really hard. So the reason I feel this way is it uses like a kind of like not proprietary, but very difficult connection to connect directly to a PC because like it has the one USB-C port and it's like a virtual link cable. And most people's GPUs don't have that. And I think it makes more sense for Sony to try to upsell like their PS5 and PSVR 2
Their own
library.
hardware. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm more on that side.
Interesting. So you and me are aligned. So now we have to listen to Skiva.
So where I think that's how they'll do it, I would prefer the option to be able to plug it into my PC and have it like a native Steam VR headset. I think that would be rad. But you're right. I can't imagine they're going to allow us to completely circumvent all the Sony stuff. It wouldn't make sense really in a business way, but I'm still hoping for it. I just want to be able to plug it in and not have
Would
my
they be able
PC.
to deliver the same quality of experience with either solution, or would plugging it in be like a clearer, better path?
Well, I mean, I feel like depends on your network if you're going to go Steam Link from your PlayStation to your PC. I mean, you'd be getting rid of all of that middleman stuff, plugging it directly into your PC. But I don't know. I don't know how they built the headset. You know what I mean? I don't know how they built the hardware. Like Brad was saying, you can't unless you have like a 20 series GPU, you don't have a connector, a USB-C connector on your graphics card, so it has to go through, different hardware. So I don't know. I'm not really sure how that would work.
So interestingly, Alex, you had a person say to you. So my whole thing about this was right. So for example, there's so many people now who are suddenly like, "Wow, I can play PC VR games," and I'm like,
Mhm.
"Wow, you could have done that for the last 5 years." And then I was like, "So who is this applicable for? You've got to have a PS5, a PSVR 2, and a PC already." And I was like, the chances of that are small. And Alex said, "I've got a friend who run me up today, blah, 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 blah," and told me about it. And sure enough, I also met someone the next day on Helldivers, one of my friends on my friends list, who went, "Hey, GT, like, have you heard about PSVR 2 and PC?" I was like, "Yeah." And he went, "Oh, it's so cool, man. Like, I can't wait to use PCVR on my PSVR 2. And I was like, why didn't you do it before?" And he was like, "Well, never really owned any other VR headsets, but I've got a really good PC." So I was like, okay, that is the person. That is the person.
There he is. Yeah, there's a lot of PS5s out there, dude.
Yeah. It's interesting. It's interesting because also, I mean, it's weird how the conversation fluctuates from PC VR is dead. There's no one using PC games. Like for example, some games launch and no one finds them or no one cares about them on PC, and yet suddenly everyone's very excited for PC VR again. I don't know how much and because it's such a storm in a teacup community, I don't know how, like, you see 100 people say, "Yeah, this is great." Suddenly you feel like it's 1,000. So I'm wondering, like, is it a big deal? I don't know.
I don't know. This does seem like a good segue, though, into something that's obviously adjacent to this that was just, I guess, just came forward maybe yesterday, the day before. But we always praise the Team Beef team here on the show, and they just announced a Return to Castle Wolfenstein PC VR port.
Yes.
So this isn't just a Quest standalone port now. They're actually doing a PC port of the PC version of Return to Castle Wolfenstein. So that's pretty cool because Team Beef has been pretty much solely focused on the Quest platform for as far as I've known. So for them to be putting all of their efforts into a PC game, that's pretty cool, you know?
Yeah.
And Wolfenstein too. That's interesting that that's the one that they chose.
Yeah, maybe they went. Yeah, I agree, actually, Skip.
Well, maybe they have a few moving in the works, and this is just the one that's like nearing completion that they can announce. You know, like we know these are some passionate dudes, and they're like the gears are always turning. Like they're always thinking about what their favorite games of theirs they can get into VR.
Yeah. Well, but they also just announced Tomb Raider.
Beef.
Yes.
Raider. Beef Raider.
Is that what?
That's what they've called it. Beef Raider VR. Yeah.
I am not playing Beef Raider.
I know either.
Why? What's wrong with Beef Raider?
I want to play. I'm not raiding any beef.
What does that mean?
Raid the tombs.
Is that an American thing?
Imagination, GT.
Yeah, I'm just letting my imagination run with it.
That made me Google it. What are you talking about? Because that is, I don't think that's a saying here that I know about.
It's not a saying here either, but just listen. It sounds It sounds like something I don't want anything
It
to
sounds
do
like
with.
meaty.
Yeah, it does sound meaty. Sounds thick and meaty.
Oh my god.
Oh no, you love all
I
that,
know.
don't you? Oh.
Well, I mean, that's tune into the Between Realities OnlyFans to learn more about that kind of stuff.
You can raid Alex's beef. So yeah, but anyway, they did say it's going to be a version of Tomb Raider that is actually first person as well.
With true dual wielding.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's going to be wild. That's so cool.
That's so sick. I love to see classics like this hit VR
Oh,
because like this stuff just people hearing about this stuff gets them interested in VR, right? Like people know Tomb Raider. People know Doom. Like people know a lot of the games that Team Beef has worked on, and it's just good marketing just for VR in general. So I think this is great.
And for me, it's honestly, I see it as an opportunity for a lot of people to experience some of these classics in a way that they would, that there's like the only way that they would, like I have a friend, for example, who didn't have a Nintendo 64, so never played Ocarina of Time. And I'm like, dude, you've never played Ocarina of Time. Come on, man. Like go, here's my N64, like go play it. And he's like, I can't, like, it's too old. Like this looks like garbage, like it's just like he has no nostalgia connected to it and like tries to play and he's like, nope, this ain't working for me.
I get that though. I do get that.
I get it too. But what I'm getting at is that if they make a VR port, now it's a whole new experience. Like now I can enjoy that story. I can enjoy that world. I can play the game, but in a way that is appealing to me.
I still think that's
VR fan.
age specific regardless.
Maybe so.
And I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why, because I did the NES version of Zelda in VR and I uploaded that and it got, I don't know, 30,000 views or something over a long period of time. But John Riggs, who is a retro based channel, did exactly the same video off the back of my channel. And I think I even helped set him up. He got 250,000 views, so it's, it was one of it. I think it's one of his biggest videos, because that like, wow, what? I still think that would be people who had it. What I'm trying to say, people who enjoyed it then would enjoy it now, but I don't think anyone now would enjoy it now.
That's interesting because like I didn't have the PlayStation, and this is like I actually was speaking really from my own desires because I didn't have a PS1, so I didn't really play Tomb Raider. I got to like mess around at a friend's house, but I didn't actually play the game. And I'm thinking to myself as you're talking about this announcement, hell yeah, I can't wait to actually play Tomb Raider, but like in VR in a way that I'll actually do it.
Is it the new remake or is it the original? Like, has she got
the OG?
So you got triangle boobies?
Yep.
Oh,
I can't wait to see them.
They have to render them, right? They're absolutely going to render those.
I'm going to ask.
Tones.
I hope this full body. I hope you look down and see your
just the shelf. It's just a polygonal shelf.
Do you think they can add triangle boob physics?
Well, that wouldn't be OG.
I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't care. You'd be like, oh no, I've got my boobs stuck. And apparently I'm on the front page of Upload VR, thanks to being on Between Realities.
Wow. Congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
There you go, man.
That's a big deal.
You finally made it.
That's a huge deal.
Thank you. It is. Yeah. Do you know, I made a tweet the other day about some stuff, and I did 3 podcasts in 7 days last week. It's mental.
Wow.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
So you did this?
You did this, yours, and Push Square. So yeah, it's crazy.
Push Square.
Yeah. Have you never heard of Push Square?
I don't think so.
They're like a PlayStation only kind of channel. So yeah, he wanted to talk about the anniversary of PSVR 2 because they cover PlayStation and PSVR 2. I think they actually started out just as PSVR in the beginning, but then like did really well and became like a unofficial official kind of web.
Oh, cool.
Thing.
Nice.
Yeah, it was really nice. It's really nice to be on there, because I'm obviously in the space. I am not the PSVR 2 person, I'm one of them. So it was quite nice that they thought I was in that thing of like, yeah, he's a hardcore PSVR
dude,
guy.
the profile pic, bro. You've been rocking the PSVR in that profile pic all these years. It's like,
oh yeah, you mean
boom.
yeah. Why not?
Yeah.
Why not remember where you come from?
Heck yeah.
That's right.
Yeah,
Man, speaking of speaking of PlayStation, there's some kind of bad news too. So one of the devs that made some of our favorite games like Until Dawn, Rush of Blood, The Impatient, Bravo Team, Switchback VR, it's having some serious problems and going through some major layoffs. And they put it out there. So, as people find out, as a lot of their team gets let go, they're being kind of transparent about the whole thing. So, man, it's a bummer because, Rush of Blood, especially, like, man, did that game really sell me on the power of VR.
Yeah.
It's just such a good game.
Did you know that IGN gave that like a 6 out of 10? So basically,
Dude, IGN is one of the dumbest game reviewers when it comes to VR.
yeah.
They don't know what the heck
Well, no.
they're doing,
I
man.
think they're pretty dumb in general. Like, I think it's
Yeah.
weird. You can watch a well-scripted review and you already know that regardless if it's not great or it's really great, it's coming in at around a 7. Do you know what I mean? It's good. It's pretty much 7. If I go in the comments, the top comment normally is, and it's 7. Like, it's always 7 or it's 9 or 10, but it's normally a 7.
How did IGN get so big when they're pretty?
Oh, they used to be awesome, mate. With when Greg Miller was there, and it felt more like, it's weird how I find this about a lot of things. Me personally, I find I attach myself to characters and people. So a YouTube channel to me is that person is who I like, and Greg Miller was like that. Greg, and through him you saw others that you enjoyed and their panels. And I used to check IGN every day, every morning, walking to work at 5 a.m. for like the news and stuff like that. And slowly things just turn into all about money, and sometimes that the whole reason it was happening in the first place just changes. And I'm assuming he left because he didn't like the way maybe it was going, or I'm not even sure. I can't remember why he left, to be honest. But he's on Kind of Funny now. Like, he's got his own gig. Yeah, I mean, it's weird. They're not the biggest channel at all, really, but they've got a hardcore audience and they're very well respected by a lot of developers and stuff. But still, I mean, even those guys love them. I do think sometimes they succumb to the cash. Do you know what I mean? Like, but they got to keep the lights on, like most people. So you got to do what you got to do. But Greg Miller is a star in my eyes. In the space.
Whenever I'm like looking for a game trailer, I'm always getting shoved an IGN YouTube link first. And I'll like literally look for a better one or a different one. I'm just like, can I just give this view to somebody else? Like, they have a million views on this trailer. It's like the official home for trailers. It's like they're just like soaking up, I'm guessing, I don't know, $1 million a year just from uploading game trailers to their channel. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, sorry.
So.
It looked like Brad was going to say something, and then he went. And he stopped.
Yeah, like we're kind of like on this one subject, so I wanted to bring up like kind of a continuation a little bit of the Ubisoft thing, because you guys are more watching the game industry than I am, so I wanted your opinions on this. So even taking out VR, like take out VR alone, the gaming industry seems like to be in an extremely like just terrible place right now, like really like low morale, low investments. AAA games are not selling well. I imagine it's probably even worse for like VR gaming, which is like a subset. So I'm like curious how you guys are feeling about that, if you guys been like talking to developers, not even just for like even for the Quest platform. Are companies like worried about this climate to like continue to develop VR games?
Do you know what I think it is, personally? I think it's a pinnacle of a couple of things where gaming was such a success and developers throw all their cash at it to keep up and make the latest stuff. When I think gaming's in a fantastic spot, Helldivers has proved it and stuff, but when things aren't still going up and up and up and up, you've then got to start taking things away, and it adds a real bad look on everything, and the quality bar is being dropped. That seal of approval that this game is good and it's been tested. When you keep getting those bad games, that's where I'm with it, personally.
Yeah, it's hard because the game industry is very different now than it used to be, in the standpoint of like, you used to be able to put out a game in a normal amount of time with a normal amount of employees with trying to get enough funding to hold you through the completion of your game wasn't as intense as it is now. Now we want game pricing has stayed almost the same, almost since the NES,
Yeah.
but we're spending insane amounts of money, like more than movies a lot of times to complete a game. It takes so much work and people aren't willing to pay for that work. And then, it's very easy to be ultra critical about, a lot of really good games. And, you know, it's a weird place where there's like the money you make hasn't increased with the technology and how much time it takes to complete a game. So that's a bummer.
But you know what has increased? Gamers. Back in the day, you were like, an outcast. You're considered a nerd by society if you were a gamer. Now it's like very well embedded into our society, like everybody
true.
plays games. So the market has grown exponentially since then. Don't get me wrong, it is crazy to me that NES games were $60 and PlayStation 5 games are $60. That's crazy. Or more. But yeah, it's a huge market now. Millions and millions and millions and millions of people. Maybe a billion. Are there a billion gamers out there? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but that's what I mean. I think there's been a limit, and I'm not sure. Like Immersed Robot Gary's just said, AAA games now cost 100 million or 50 million is considered cheap. GTA 6 probably cost $1 billion. Like,
yep.
But it's kind of like GTA is kind of like a Simpsons. Like it does everything. Like you could live in GTA, and that must be
like
awful.
a simulation. It's like a full world simulation. It is the most ambitious game series of all time, I think.
Yeah.
Do you guys watch any of the like this happens like every couple of years where like all the biggest Twitch streamers they all go into like a GTA role playing server for like months to like act out characters, and it really does feel like a living world the way they do it. It's kind of incredible.
I've never heard of that before.
It is. I mean, it is like a living world. Imagine GTA 6, but like all the NPCs are like powered by, low latency chat GPT or something. I mean, when we start getting, that amount of NPCs that you can legitimately have a conversation with, I mean, the immersion there is going to be insane.
Have you ever seen a GTA RP live stream? They're so good.
That's what
it looks like so much fun, dude. I've seen a few, and every single time I see that, I'm like, I need to be playing this game. This looks like it's rad. Like, 4 dudes meet up on a street corner, and they're like, "What's up, fool?" You're like, "How are we gonna make some money today?" It's like, "Oh shit,"
it's like a real TV show. It's crazy.
It is.
Like,
it's
how
so sick.
good it is. Yeah.
And like they're not acting. They're not acting. They're just role playing. So like they have their character. They show up. They're like, "What's up? All right, how are we gonna do this?" And they're like, "Well, you want to go rob some houses?" Like, "Well, it's pretty high risk. You got any other ideas?" And they're like sitting there being criminals together. It's so awesome. And yeah, I want to get into that more. And if this new GTA comes out and has VR, it's over.
Yeah. Like I just want to state that my favorite game at the moment is Contractors Showdown.
Oh, dude!
Without,
yeah,
and we've got some excellent games, and I love the other games, like, but I am super in love with Showdown because it's just got everything that I think you can think of in a battle royale game.
Yeah.
Like,
what's the current status of that? Is it out? Is it coming out?
Beta's Friday.
Going into beta, yeah.
Yeah, open beta. Yeah,
Yeah,
before it was like closed alpha, wasn't it, or something? Closed beta. Sorry.
Yep. And closed alpha before that. So yeah, it's I think it is going to be the biggest game of 2024.
Yeah, biggest
by far.
Biggest VR
by
game
far.
of 2024. I believe that. And that's the thing. I think a lot of people like we respect what Pop One did, and other games like that before. To be fair, Pop One is the biggest, but I seriously think that when this actually goes a bit more mainstream, people will just flood to it because
I'm excited.
It's so good, mate. I mean, it's so thought out and easy. If you go in there with someone, so I went in there with Benjo. What's today? Yeah, no, yeah, it was yesterday. Wow, I had it quick. I went in there with Benjo yesterday, and it's so much nicer because now I'm pretty good at explaining stuff. I used to teach people stuff. And so I'm pretty good at explaining video games to people. So within 20 minutes, he knew everything he needed to know. So then we could focus working on as a team. And I think within 45 minutes, we were suddenly coming up at like the final last 2 or 3 teams. And then on the second match, we were getting close to like nearly winning because he's good at games. I'm good at games. And Goosey's good at games. Goosey Goggles, he helped us out. And it was just awesome because when I went in there on my own, I was like, you got so many questions because the tutorial is pretty limited. There is a tutorial, but it's so much easier for someone to tell you what you're playing. And it was just fantastic. And once that happens, more people play it, more people share how to play it. Suddenly, it's just sick, mate. And there's so much good in there. Really.
Do we
is.
know price tag, free to play? What's the monetization
the open
model?
beta is going to be free.
Right, but I'm just curious about the game itself.
I'll be honest, right? As good as it is, and I know no one wants to hear this, I would pay $60 for this game personally in a VR game because it's got it's actually everything I'd want. It's got skins, spray paints, fucking like outfits. The communication's good. The map's amazing. It looks brilliant. It's like it
45 people. Right?
Yeah.
So 45 per game.
If that's the
okay.
one thing, that's the one thing I'd say to them. If there's anything, could you up? Like, I'd do anything better than what it's doing. If you get it to 50, that I can guarantee within minutes you'll be hitting people. Like it's just phenomenal.
3-man squads,
45 is a
right?
lot.
Yeah,
Three-man
squads.
squads?
Yeah.
So 15. Oh, is it? How many? Is that 15 teams?
Something like that.
Yeah. 15 teams.
I'm actually kind of excited for this based on what you're saying. Because
Dude,
it sounds like,
I'll get you in there, mate. I'll get you in there as soon as possible.
please. It sounds like it would hit exactly what I kind of want right now.
It's
Like,
so sick, man. Honestly, it just feels so good to play. And obviously they got all their weapons down from the original Contractors. They're going to do like they're going to basically make both games work together as well. So it'd be like saying to yourself, right, you know what, today I want to play a team deathmatch game or I want to play some mods, and you go to Contractors. You want to go Warzone style, then you go to Showdown. And it's got leveling, it's got unlocks, it's got contracts. It's just so good. It's just so good. I'm so happy that it's happening. So that's apart from Heartshot, I think that's the most anticipated game for me now.
No clue how much it's going to be though.
I don't. If I could guess, and if they're going to try and play it safe, I'd imagine $29.99 at a push. That's just where VR devs are now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Roughly, but that's with the game. This has got potentially hundreds of hours of gameplay. You know, so yeah. I wish
really exciting.
I wish they could push it up more, but I know they're going to want the player base. You know,
Okay.
and that matters. But yeah, it's really good. If they ever said to me like we're doing like a special version, like it's expensive and you get all this extra kit, for example, you know, like Ghost of the Boar did. I think they did certain editions.
Yep.
I would,
multiple.
yeah, I would do it.
Yeah, I totally would too. I absolutely would.
Yeah.
To have some exclusive skins even for your guns and stuff, or exclusive character skins would be worth it alone.
Yeah.
Man, they're absolutely crushing it, and I do think this will be one of the biggest VR games probably of all time.
What a good place we're in. So you've got Tabor for the Tarkov. You want that. You want that style of game. You've got it, and easily the best version of it. And now we've got the Warzone that we've always wanted. And then if you go to Contractors anyway, well, they also, it'll be funny. I actually love Pavlov as well. I think Pavlov's fantastic.
Oh, dude, Pavlov's great.
There's so many great options.
And then if you want a GTA style game, you get Gang V. Perfect.
Yeah.
Oh no! Why?
Sorry, VR joke.
Do you know what? It's really annoying that I'm not a big YouTuber because I think that video is fucking incredible. I made. I loved it. I literally have watched that video myself about 3 or 4 times. It's so fucking funny. It's got some amazing glitches, like policemen that are fucking upside down with their feet on the floor. There was like a floating bit of earth up in the sky with people on it. It's just absolutely bonkers.
That's good, but my favorite has got to be your drunken bar fight video.
Oh,
Dude.
with the YouTubers.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah,
I watched that video like 5 times.
Did
and
you?
I laughed.
Oh, thanks,
Yeah,
man.
it's so funny, man.
I know.
Really.
I'm hoping one day that somehow the algorithm goes, do you know what? This channel's all right. And they start pushing. Because, sometimes I just have so much fun making a video. And, like beating up J-Man Curly. Well, actually, no, I think everyone was beating me up. I think that was what it was. I tried to make it look like everyone.
Ways.
Yeah, that's so good. There was loads of people in there. There was Benjo, BMF, you guys. Who else was in there? Who was with you on the pier? There was you two. There's someone else with you on the pier.
Was it Rendered Reality or something? I can't remember.
I can't remember. It might have
Oh,
been. I can't remember. But
It was
yeah.
so good.
that was good
I, like,
times.
Almost cried of laughter watching that video.
Oh, Eric for president was underneath the wheel. Yeah, that was right. He was there. Yeah, that was.
Yeah, everyone in chat, you got to go hunt this video down on GT's channel. Trust me, you won't be disappointed.
Drunken bar fight. That was a very funny video. I enjoyed that one. What's been I mean, you're all obviously everyone here has made VR content in some way. What's been like your favorite video you've ever made? What's been
I'll go first. I know right off the bat for me, I think was the Population 1 mixed reality video that me and Alex did.
Oh, that was a lot of fun.
You did a Population 1 mixed reality video.
It's the only one out there, dude.
Yeah,
it's
because
pretty amazing.
We broke the game and hacked Live into it, and then they fixed it after we did the video. So
I didn't know that was a thing.
It's not a thing. We made it a thing.
Yeah, we got some help, credit where it's due,
Yep.
from Mr. Sir Coolness, who is the original author of the Population 1B haptics mod.
Wow.
I got in, I hit him up and I was telling him what we were doing, and he's like, basically the work I've done, like, I can help you guys accomplish this. And he like got us a headless version of the avatar in there, and and I think we ended up having to remove the avatar entirely, but it was weird for like the first couple of iterations.
Incredible.
Yeah, and it looked amazing.
You want your full body in there. Yeah, it was so good, man. You peeling the banana and stuff, just absolutely like hanging out the windows of the second floor.
Yeah, it looks so good because my
so
body
good.
is in the scenes, and I like used the gun to smash out a window, and then I'm like leaning through the window, and it looks legit.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's my favorite thing.
that does sound actually really cool. Excellent. I look forward to that. What's this Techno Pocket Go that you've tagged here, Brad? What are we talking about?
Yeah, so right now there's a big kind of industry event going on for computing. It's called Mobile World Congress. Happens every year. And this company who usually makes laptops made this really interesting device that it's basically just a controller, but it has its own built-in Ryzen 7 8840 APU, which is like more powerful than what's in the ROG Ally and Steam Deck. So the idea is you connect it. Their idea is you connect it to X-Real glasses. But the really interesting thing about it is, like, again, it's just a controller. It has a full computer inside of it for gaming.
Wow.
That you do on the controller, and you can connect it to an AR headset. But I'm hoping that you can also connect it to a VR headset, because I think that's where like I would want.
It has the compute in it. Oh my god!
Yeah, it has the compute in it, full compute, and it's got like one. Let me read off the specs real quick because it was also quite impressive. 1 terabyte SSD, 16 gigabytes of LPD DDR5 RAM. This is where
you're just holding it.
Go. You're just holding. You go again. When I'm talking about this like thing where you like have a headset on and you go wherever you want with a little computer, like it's basically a compute puck, but built into a controller. It's the future, man. It's awesome stuff.
Have you tried the newest X-Real glasses?
Yeah, it was neat. I still prefer, look, I'm very biased to yeah, I like the pass-through AR more than optical AR stuff a lot more.
Word.
So
I'm still waiting to try some AR that actually really wows me.
We were impressed by those X-Real glasses.
Dude, I thought they were great.
We were impressed.
Hold on, Dr. Oculus is it? Dr. Oculus, what did I play? He brought some glasses with him once, and I used something at EGX. I can't remember what it was. But yeah, I need to find out. I need to know what I've used. You know what I mean?
Yeah, those X-Real glasses are sweet. They're 6 DoF, hand tracking, Like the colors are
Ooh.
incredible.
What's the FOV though? That was the one thing I always found. Like FOV
Yeah,
refresh rate is a little bit low.
that's FOV
feel
is
like it was-
the biggest problem.
Felt like it was probably around 50 or something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it
think it's like
wasn't-
48 or 45.
Yeah,
I just
that
find it-
part was, but like you can definitely see the progress there. The hand tracking built into those thin little glasses was just kind of blew my mind. And being able to stick a window to a wall and have it stay there, because right now I have Rokit glasses, which I use all the time for flights and for traveling, because it gives you a nice big crystal clear beautiful screen in your glasses, but when you move, the whole thing moves with you, and it's always stuck to your vision. But being able to place the screen and be able to look around freely, and then use your hands to navigate things, I think is great. So I think once we get to a higher field of view, these things will start to become way more popular than they currently are.
Yeah.
Definitely impressive.
I just want to pick up on Phil Yarn. He has said if Contractors Showdown is $40, that's way too much and it will destroy itself. $25 or less is ideal for a multiplayer only VR game. Now, do you know that is such the shame about where VR is at the moment, when someone, a developer, is pretty much giving you the ultimate Warzone game in VR, and people are still like, I don't want to pay $25 for this. It's weird, isn't it?
Dude, I've had so many dinners that are like $150. Like it's a meal. Like I've had
You've had a meal for $150?
a lot of them.
What the fuck? What did you?
Yeah.
What did you? There's an F.
Are you serious?
Well, just you.
Well, like me and my wife go out to dinner.
All right, you didn't
150
say
bucks.
that. I was thinking, what
And
is
for
this
the
man
record,
eating?
I've definitely spent $150 personally on a meal before. Also, go out for like a nice thing, go to a fancy ass restaurant. I'm a foodie, you know what I mean? But the thing is like I have a higher value for entertainment than I do food. And if I can value a nice dinner out, or even like a couple of coffees, you go out and buy coffee for yourself and a friend, like $15, you're halfway to a VR game that you could squeeze
I
100
get
hours
it.
out of.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
yeah, I
yeah,
know, Phil Yarn.
it's-
I'm not saying you're wrong, mate. I just want you to know that I'm not saying you're wrong. And I don't know if you missed it, but I actually said this game should be, to play it safe, like $24.99, $29.99. That's roughly where I think all VR games should be. And it's a shame because this game, I believe, is worth more. That's what I'm saying. I know what people expect to pay. We actually spoke about, was it last week? Prices of headsets and expectations of technology. It's the same thing. Like a Legendary Tales came out on PSVR 2. I think it was $50. Or was it $60?
50.
$50. And it was, so many people I think were just like, I'm going to buy this because I just want a really good VR game. This is the sort of VR game I'm waiting for. So all I'm saying is for Contractors Showdown, I would pay more than $29.99 for that particular game, because I believe.
We just talked about how the game industry is having a really hard time and things are starting, developers are going out of business, big studios aren't able to make it. It's because people just don't want to pay for their entertainment. They want 400 hours of something for $10. It's not realistic, and it's not the way an industry can survive. Granted, I understand rent is at an all-time high everywhere. Groceries are ridiculously expensive. Fuel, everything is so expensive that it leaves very little extra money for people to do anything fun. So I get it. But if we want gaming to survive, especially VR gaming, man, we got to pay the devs.
Yeah.
People can't do this on charity anymore.
But the real problem still is, though, like there's this mix-up of developers out there asking for $30, $40 for games that are not worth it. And then people get stung. So that's what I'm saying. That's why I was getting so frustrated with the PSVR 2 store. Because I'm like, people are losing faith. Do you know what I mean? Oh, this game is worth Down and Out. How much did Down and Out? Does anyone in the chat remember how much Down and Out is on PSVR 2? I hope you don't remember.
I don't.
Dude, they need to loosen up with their refund policies.
Yeah.
Because in my opinion, Steam and Meta solved that issue. It's solved. Like
Agreed.
you have 2 hours with that game. If you can't figure out whether or not that game is for you in 2 hours, then just return it. Like easy peasy, like no risk. It's like if it's you don't have to take the risk. So
and
if
Sony went
PlayStation
the
fixed that.
complete other way, and they said not only did they say you can't do refunds, but with a lot of their games, they're saying we won't even let reviewers look at this and you have to go
Mhm.
and buy it knowing you can't even get a refund. And if this game sucks, then it sucks. You know what I mean? And you're just out that money. And it's really too bad because I feel like Sony is not looking at this from a let's protect our consumers, standpoint. So
That's
it's too
good,
bad.
Phil Yarn. So Phil Yarn says, now this is a conversation I've had a lot. I price my game value at movie value. So yeah, you'll buy a cinema ticket for, how much is a cinema ticket in the States? Because in the UK, they're like
Like
$15.
$14.
Yeah, so they're 15, but if we go to an IMAX, for example, it could be £20. So that would be 25 in your money. So what's that with you guys, roughly?
About that.
So, yeah, about that. So then what he's saying is you should get out of $30, you should get about 4 hours of gameplay, which means according to cinema prices for a game like Showdown, you should pay $100 for this game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Yeah, or more. I don't know. Yeah, exactly. Like that's the
Yeah.
tough thing, isn't it? So yeah, it's just I think so many things would be different if there was some really good quality assurances for games and someone who knew what they were doing priced these directly. And Phil Yarn also brought up. Phil Yarn's been a favourite this week.
We love Phil Yarn.
Yeah, he brought up Space Junkies, which was a classic pricing error. Not only did it have the features that the community wanted, like I knew they wanted, they also priced it at something like $38, maybe $40. It was missing. So people would buy it, go, "This game's good, but it's missing this, this, and this." And then by the time that all that stuff had come in, people had already got fed up with it, or for waiting. And then they halved the price, which made people think this game's trash anyway, then blah blah blah, and it just died so fast.
Yeah.
Like, and I actually still think it was such a good game. It had so much promise.
It was
But yeah,
fantastic. It was also so early in the in
the
life
quality
of
bar was
Yarn.
actually really high for that, wasn't it? Like in comparison
Yeah.
to a lot of stuff.
It was. If that game came out today on the Quest, I think that it would be a very, very different story.
Yeah.
So let me ask you guys about this one, because just this week, Arvory Immersive Experiences, who made the Pixel Ripped series, announced that they have a multiplayer game in development, which is basically a Rocket League game in which you are playing as a cat. And I don't care what I look like. I
What,
could be a cat.
A cat with wheels?
No, you're just like scurrying around in there and pawing at the ball.
Why
Which like it looks like fun because like I said, I don't care if I'm a cat or a blob with a bow and arrow or a rocket firing my arms.
Nice.
Like as if it's a ball going into a net, I can get behind something like that. But we had Ultimex come out free to play. We have Knock, which is that free now or is it
No,
$10?
it's always $10 as far as I know.
$10. Okay, so we have Knock and we have Ultimex, both which do a really good job at kind of delivering that Rocket League style experience. And now Arvory is making their very first multiplayer title in that genre. So I don't know, like, I mean, I love Rocket League. I love games like it. But we already have those two that kind of fill that genre. And now they're going to be a third option for those people.
I think they're doing particularly well.
I was just going to say.
Yeah. Pixel Rip
Yeah.
1979 didn't do as well.
No, I think he's on about,
38.
what you on about, that robot one?
I mean Rocket League.
Ultimex.
Ultimex and Knock.
And Knock, I don't think are doing spectacular. So
No.
to enter this market and make it kind of cutesy like that, I don't really know what they're thinking. I don't think this is super smart.
Well, let's ask the guy with the ears.
Yeah,
Just
do you want to
kidding.
play football? Are you a
I know you don't
footballer?
play these games.
I know. Dude, the only like game that I probably play like that is Dota 2, and that game like is free to play. So
Yeah, like I guess that's what I'm getting at. Is like that just seems like it has to be free, right? Like when you have these other games out there, Knock, which you either already own or you're not going to buy it. Like, I mean, unless you're buying a new headset now and you're new to VR. Like Knock was like an instant buy for me. It's like knowing I like that kind of game. You know what I mean?
Instantly, Dan Kitty said Knock is a Quest Plus game this month.
Oh, hell yeah. I love Knock.
Plus existed.
I
forgot
really,
about it,
really like
yeah.
Knock. It's so fun.
It's weird,
Man,
isn't it?
I wonder if companies and studios like Arvory, I wonder if they like try to look at data before making these decisions, right? Because I mean, I loved Pixel Rip 1978, but that's when I started. Like I started on an Atari, and that game, and so for me, it was very nostalgic. But I feel like I'm the minority. I'm not the target demographic for who you're selling games to right now. You know what I mean? So I knew 1978 wasn't going to do as well as the others in the series, and I don't know why they thought any different. And now I'm wondering why they are really going after something like a Rocket League type game when I don't know, it just has showed to be not what people want at this exact moment in time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I didn't even know about that.
Yeah, they just announced it like a couple days ago.
It's interesting, the Pixel Rip story, though, because the first one, which was 1986?
89,
1989, and the second one was 1990.
5.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two I loved. Those two I understood, especially 1995. And I'm in it.
Yes.
Funny enough,
Hell
I get people still DM me. They go like, dude, I just found you in this game. Yeah, that's so...
Awesome.
It is
Alex
so
is in
good.
it too, I believe.
I
Wait,
am,
Oh.
but I'm on the last level. Like you actually
Isn't
have to
Brad
play
in there
that game.
too? Brad, are you in there?
Oh.
Wait, what? For what?
Are you in Pixel Rip 1995? Is there a
I-
Brad
I
card in
haven't.
there?
I don't know. I didn't do it. They asked me, but I forgot.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
I'm
my
like
voice is 78.
celebrating when they hit me up.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is interesting talking about prices of games. It is worrying. It is worrying.
But we'll be here anyway. You know, at least we have our hardcore VR fanatics who are going to play all the games and
that's the
talk
thing
about them. And
APUK says it's okay for YouTubers who get their games for free. We rely on honest reviews. Now, the problem is some of these embargoes won't let you release a video until the game is released. And chances are that means you've pre-ordered, or people are like, where's the video? I'm just going to buy it anyway. Blah, blah, blah. It's just dodgy. It's just dodgy.
yeah, I mean, just to quickly touch on that, if you're somebody if YouTubers who cover games should not, in my opinion, be expected to buy every game. Like, you can't buy every game. You're gonna drain your bank account.
I'd be,
you know what I mean?
I wouldn't be able to do it. I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah, you can't do it. So
impossible.
yeah. I don't think I don't think you should ever give a YouTuber a hard time for getting games for free. Like their time alone playing that game is valuable because there's so many games that could be played to be covered.
Some games are good, but I get what you're saying. Yeah, like a lot of stuff in my life I can't do because I do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
and I'm not saying don't ever buy a game because I buy VR games from time to time, but you just can't be expected to buy them all or every game that you're going to cover.
Yeah, absolutely. No way. Impossible.
Yeah.
No. I don't know where I don't know what would happen to me. I'd be so like, I'd be begging. I'd be like, please, I need 1,000 more patrons. But yeah, very lucky. I get some and I don't have to ask, so I'm very lucky.
That is nice.
With where we are. But yeah, is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about? Have I missed anything? Does anyone in the chat want a quick Q&A? Because I did promise we'd do that for 10 minutes in every show at halfway, and I've completely forgotten. I've never done it since. So if anyone has got any Q&A stuff that you want us to talk about or subjects we could talk about for the next 10 minutes.
You got me really wanting to try that Contractors, man.
Good.
I need to get in there.
Good.
So
I absolutely love it. I do. I absolutely love it. There's just like, as someone who play tests and reviews games, I always ask questions. I'm always thinking, what can this do better? What's next? Why does this happen? Why doesn't this happen? And I don't have much of that. Once you understand it, for example, this side of your chest has all your medical supplies. And when you put your hand there and press a button, it goes bandages, syringes, and then armor plates. And then you get an armor plate and you just slot it into your chest. And that's how you get more armor on. And this side is grenades and detection grenades, things like that. And then, like, you got stations where you buy stuff. You've got, so you can expand your bag. You can expand the amount of armor you have. You can expand how big your clips are or mags on your guns. And you got insurances. So if you die, you've got standard insurance. You'll respawn, but only with a pistol. Or if you've got enough money, you can have advanced insurance. There's just like everything that I thought of. And then you got perks. And so you've got like your Call of Duty perks. So if you get so many kills, then you can run faster or something. And if you get up to 500, you can do something else. And then you've got fucking air raids, and it's just like, damn.
Yeah, you literally jump out of the plane and pull your parachute, and if you jump off a mountain or something, you can redeploy your parachute and kind of glide down.
And you can slide if you crouch physically.
yeah.
You can slide down hills and stuff. It's just like there's just so much. The only thing that does, I've got one issue. One issue. The ladders are fake.
Like you don't like use your hands to climb a ladder.
There's just no like you go up to a ladder, nothing happens.
Oh, that you just can't use them.
No, you can mantle and you can grip stuff. Like if you see a wall, you can literally, that game is super fast. You can just run and just like mantle everything. But if you see a ladder, nothing happens.
Word.
Don't know why.
I have a question. What do you guys think? And GT, this is a good one for you because you are way more into working out than I am. Obviously.
I just want to say I got 150 kilo bench this week.
Wow.
Good job.
Nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't know how many pounds that is, but it sounds like a lot.
Pounds. I don't know pounds. Yeah. I'm got. I was actually listening to a fitness podcast and everything they spoke about was pounds, and I was getting my phone. I was like, for fuck's sake, I don't know what this means. Sorry.
Well, so Six Live, the original creator of Live that we know from Mixed Reality, and he did your fitness tracker that Meta blatantly stole. Is now coming out with a fitness-based headset with a glove thing that you wear that can detect weight and stuff like that as you're lifting. And the headset looks pretty cool. Do you think there's a market out there for this? What do you have you heard of this? Do you have any thoughts on it?
I think, do you know what? I think there is a market. There might be an undiscovered market yet. I mean, you look at things like Peloton. That's what I'm assuming he's thinking of.
Yeah.
But when I looked into this, it was the headset. The headset sounds cool, but I don't think that's going to be the interesting point. I think the gloves are the interesting point, because for someone like myself, if I'm lifting heavy, right?
Bro, 150 kilo is 330 pounds.
Is that good?
That's fucking gnarly.
Wait, can you bench that?
For 2 reps.
You could bench me. Sick.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So
That's a lot.
yeah, I'm working on my leg
Wow.
press. I'm trying to get up to 300 kilos on leg press. But what was I going to say? You've lost me. What was I saying?
Gloves.
Oh, the fitness
You're
thing.
talking about the gloves.
So anyway, yeah, the gloves. So if I'm doing like heavy lifting and stuff, I've for anyone who doesn't know, I used to rollerblade a lot and roller skate, and I used to hang onto the back of cars because I thought it looked cool in Back to the Future, and I snapped both my wrists. And then I had to have an operation on this one because I rode some steps and the bone fell out. So anyway, my wrists are pretty mangled. I don't know if you can see that. They're not really great. I had to rebuild the muscle in both of them. I'm really good at arm wrestling. But anyway, if I lift things that are too heavy, these muscles basically expand and cut off all the blood to my fingers. And then I can't actually grip anything. So I have to get band like wraps, which is pretty standard in weightlifting right around here. So I can't wear my watch, which means I can't keep an eye on calorie burning and stuff like that. But these gloves, they would go over your palm, right? So I could still wear them and use them, and it would count and keep an eye on BPM, calorie burning, and even count your reps. And I think if the cost is right, that could be really cool. And that in itself could lead on to maybe someone thinking about buying a headset. That's how I think they should approach it.
You know, it's really funny. Like, I feel kind of smug right now because they actually contacted me like a week before they announced it to get my opinion. And what you're saying is like literally what I told them. I'm like, people are not going to care about the headset; they're going to care about the gloves. And
Yeah. That's what I think. Honestly, I think the gloves could be absolutely huge. Personally, so yeah.
Hell yeah. GT, why don't you grab a couple of these questions that you asked for out of the chat before we wrap this up?
Yeah. Where are we? What have we got? Funky stuff. Oh, you wanted me to ask you this one.
Not really.
Have
but...
Alex and Skiva tried Apple Vision Pro?
Yeah, we tried it.
Yeah.
We thought it was cool.
Yeah, we've talked about it a lot.
Yeah. What was it, our second episode that we do, or was it our first episode? Second episode.
Second one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We had Justin Weeblehouse, VR TikToker, on as a guest, and we dove in a lot to our personal experience with the headset. We thought it was cool.
Yeah. Cool enough to buy for me right now, waiting on the Valve Deckard. No. Just not, I want to do things like play Ghost of Tabor and, play video games and, it's just, had it been $1,000, I'd have bought it for sure.
Mm. Do you know, someone said to me, they were like, I still want a VR headset to escape.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, as
That's
Apple
a
Vision
lot of
Pro
what
is all
why I
about.
love VR is the escaping, going somewhere else, being someone else, doing something else.
Yeah.
I do want it to be able to work and stuff as well more efficiently. I just
Don't want to
just
spend
has to be a
$3,500
little
to do
lower.
it.
Yeah, it just has to be a little lower for me personally.
Ken Sai Gaming says they fixed some of the ladders in Contractors Showdown, but not all the ladders. So
What
Nice.
I can say.
that's good.
VR
That's good
MC,
news.
have you been playing any UE VR games lately?
Do you know what? I have been so busy actually doing normal VR games that I haven't. So because I could have made a potentially try play Returnal fully. It was amazing in UEVR, but I kind of feel like my channel was always about supporting developers, or if someone's going to spend money on a game, letting them know whether they should invest. So like with UEVR, I don't know. You know, I'm
Yeah.
like, does that actually serve that purpose? It would just be me entertaining myself. So yeah.
The
Well,
Foster
I mean,
Doge.
I will tell you that I think it would personally because I don't get flat games for free, right? So when I'm looking at a game, a flat game, it is specifically to play it in UEVR. And I don't know how well the game plays in there, what the different profiles are like. And if I pull the trigger on a $40, $50 flat game to play it in UEVR, I'm taking a big risk there. Besides the 2 hour, but a lot of times to build the proper profile, it's going to take you a little while.
Yeah.
So people still have to buy the games, and those people that are VR fanatics, that could definitely still be a service.
Okay then, Skeevar.
Yeah. The Foster Dojo, do you guys use the Quest Games optimizer?
Yes. Not all the time, because to be fair, with Quest 3, things have been a bit better. But I did a video on it. I'm not to push anyone away to look at my videos, but I did one with Power Wash, because Power Wash was clearly not optimized at all for Quest 3. It was because I'm very surprised they released it the way it was. I mean, yeah, the core gameplay's there. It looks okay. But if you use Quest Optimizer, the game looks like really actually quite good. There's no aliasing. Everything just looks so like you can increase the resolution, you can increase the frame rate. So I would say look into it. Check out my video if you want, whether the results come across on screen. But it was worth it. Yeah.
Do you use it, Skiva?
I don't, and I've always wanted to try it, and I just haven't, and I should really give it a shot.
Just because of the extra effort to do
the
it?
extra effort, and it's like, man, why can't? I mean, I feel like
Why can't
I should-
developers do it?
Well, yeah, and I feel like if I talk about a game, people, your average person isn't gonna even know what that is. So I want to know what it actually performs like. Do you know what I mean? If I'm gonna talk about the game to begin with. So, but yeah, I mean, I would like to try it. But before we go on, I want to thank Substatica for his $20 super chat saying congrats to Short Stack VR, Tribe Grey Wolf VR, and Kensei VR. Kensei Gaming VR for placing 5th in the first Showdown tournament this past week. And
Well
I wanted
done,
to call that
boys.
one out because Stacks, Tribe, and Kensei are some of my best homies, and they are amazing people and amazing content creators, and you should all go and check out all three of them immediately.
Congrats on
Amazing.
5th?
Yeah.
Is there a prize? I love you guys.
If you're not first, you're last.
Yeah. Second or third, or at least on the podium.
But they're awesome
Wow.
people, and they're all number one in my book.
Yeah, of course. They're dear
Aw.
friends, and I love you guys.
It's
Just
like
give me a hard time.
it's like a parent. My kids aren't ugly. Where love it. What was I going to say? I was actually supposed to be in that tournament, but it was midnight my time. And if you watch my latest video of Contractors, you will know there is no way that my family could have been asleep while I was playing it.
Are you just screaming?
I am so loud, mate. I literally, whatever volume I have, and I am a loud person, it doubles by accident. It's just constant. So yeah. Yeah, so yeah, I knew that because I'd already played it previously, and I'm like, I get to once I'm warmed up and my eye is in, you know, and I've got this, and after that it is a reaction time issue, which really pisses me off. But I'm good, you know I can be good. Once I'm at that point, I'm all in. Like I am all in. Nothing else matters, and that's why I love it so much.
Hell yeah. I think the loudest I've ever been in VR is playing Among Us in like VR chat and Neos. Like
They were
just
good days, weren't they?
screaming at people. Just like everyone's trying to yell over each other. And like my wife is just like, oh my God, like, dude, no, shut up.
Isn't it weird? I think Among Us VR was more popular before Among Us VR officially came because it because it was you weren't meant to do it. It wasn't meant to be done, and I think that's what added to all the hype. All the YouTubers going, "Guess what I'm playing?" Everyone's like, "What?"
Well, and it was so good. Like,
yeah, it was really good.
Really, really good. It worked. You
I
know?
was and also you could do some really
Resonate version is so good. It's so dark and scary.
wow.
Dude, it's so good, and all the tasks work just like the you know the real one, but really good.
Do you know that game released on PSVR 2?
Yeah.
Oh,
I would hazard a guess that there's no one playing it. I would.
who
you know,
knows?
I mean, I'd like to know, but no
Super
one.
fun.
I didn't.
do like
it
it
is,
a
yeah,
lot.
it's super fun, man.
Yeah.
It's super fun. I'm just saying, isn't it weird how amazing it was in VR chat or whatever it was to play it, and then as soon as they like everyone's loving this, let's do it for real. I thought this game is fantastic, like you just said. Loved it, played it, streamed it, and then suddenly I think the official version then made it not as amazing. But then to be fair, it was like a year late, wasn't it? So that the whole blowing up of did Among Us really take off during lockdown? Was that when it was like
I think
its
so.
biggest? Can't quite
I think so.
remember. Can't
I
quite
wonder what the
remember.
numbers are on the official flat game version nowadays. Does it, and with the retention rates, how often do people that play that game play that game? Is it about the same as the VR version? Is it less? Is it more?
Yeah.
It's probably slowed down. I've seen a lot less like references. Like people made Among
Yeah.
Us references a lot on the internet for like a year or two there. And I feel like I see much less Among Us sus action online. Also, I just want to like mention this quickly. Like when I play Among Us, it's with a group of people I know. I don't think I would have fun if I went into a random lobby with a bunch of screaming kids playing Among Us. And I just want to say I feel the exact same way about Gorilla Tag. If you haven't played Gorilla Tag with some friends, I highly recommend you do it.
And
Like, it is fun.
I highly recommend you actually do go and playing Among Us with screaming kids and troll the fuck out of them. It's so
Just
good.
traumatize them.
Oh yeah. There was a guy, I can't remember his name. He done a YouTube video of doing that, just making these kids scream like.
I've seen some of that.
Yeah, that is amazing. So yeah,
I agree. Actually,
yeah.
I do really enjoy hearing children just at the like the limit of mental and emotional capacity.
There was some in Contractors, and I actually left it in my video. I only realised the next day, I was watching it back again. I killed these kids, and there's proximity chat for people who are dead, right? So the guys are getting me up, and I'm hearing these kids going, "They don't know there's one more of us," and I'm like, "Oh, shut up!" Do you know what I mean? Shut up, you little, because they were like just getting all rude and stuff. It was so funny. Very good, very good. Right, hopefully we've answered all and every question that has come up. Thank you ever so much for being here this week for our VR chat, VR talk. You know?
Yeah, VR. Thank you for being here for VR chat.
Yes, our VR chat. Because it's hopefully we can get the crew back next week. Hopefully, if everything settles down, which would be nice. Which would be really good. I need to get some guests on this bloody show as well, don't I? Who would you have? Who?
You know, like having 8 people instead of 7.
I bet
It's
you
not
could, fill it up if we needed to. You know,
I would like to do a 50-person one day.
I think Mash hit that once on QTC. He came really close. He did one of the biggest podcasts I've ever seen. He just got so many people in there, and it was really cool to see. But man,
no one could listen to anything.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. I've said it countless times. I can't believe this show works. like the fact that 7 of us can be on here at once. But like, there's only 4 of us today, but still, like, I'm surprised that we can do this with 7 people.
It's all about showing patience and respect.
That's right, baby. That's right.
That's right, baby. Right. Thank you ever so much to everyone in the chat. Thank you for all your donations, all your likes, all your subscribes. I don't know if it'll work. Do I need to say subscribers? Like and subscribe. Might do that on the app. You should try it. Are you going to try it, Brad?
I'm
probably
waiting
not.
to see if there's a rainbow on my screen, and I'm not seeing nothing.
Well, I guess it would be like captions. Like it would have to work out what you've said and when you've said it. It wouldn't be instantaneous.
That makes sense.
It
I
does
have
make
seen
sense.
seen it a whole bunch of times.
It's pretty cool, isn't it? I thought it was pretty cool. Snow Toad, thank you for the £1.50 he's bought us a hot dog. Thank you ever so much, guys. And hopefully we will see you all next week. Look after yourselves. Enjoy some VR. Hopefully I'll see you in Contractors Showdown this weekend. I cannot wait to play that game again. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Bye.
Later, y'all.
Bye.